and gentlemen, welcome to Pinball Talk with Mr. Rod Brooks. I dragged him out again. Can't get enough of Rod Brooks. We're standing in front of a Monster Bash. This Monster Bash is a Monster Bash remake. I think it was from 2018, but the original was made in?
It's about 98.
98, okay. Now, this particular game, what we decided to do was we're going to talk about Monster Bash generic issues and the game in either version, rather than focus specifically on the remake version. The remake has a bigger display, some coloured speakers, and a few extra toys and things in it, but the gameplay itself is obviously the same. Rod, have you worked on many of these? You had many problems with these over the years as you've seen them in the wild?
They're not as common
Okay.
because they just didn't make as many. So back in the 90s, early 2000s, there just wasn't a great deal of them around. However, there are a few things, and then I'll say whether it's specific to the original one. So, because the new ones really have only been out for a few years, and there's not really a lot that you can say that's a problem with it, other than just a few things I've observed. So with the original one, you do have some problems with this drag track. What can happen is it can get a bit uneven, so there can be wear. That's the first problem. So you might come across some of the original ones where you can actually physically see wear around where the drag track goes backwards and forwards.
Okay.
Also, the scoop here. So that's why on this remake they've actually put a protector around the side. That can get quite divoted and big chunks missing. That's definitely an endemic problem with the original one. This machine uses, on this machine they call it Phantom Flip. They had it on the Adams Family. They actually originally was on a Gottlieb soccer machine, an automatic flipper.
Yes, right.
The difference between Adams Family and this one is Adams Family just uses one optic switch. This uses an optic switch and an eddy sensor. Now, if either of those are not functioning properly, you will get problems and it won't work correctly. So you need to make sure that the eddy sensor is working and that the optic is working for the Phantom Flip to work on either flipper.
Right.
I've come across a lot where one of the switches is not working and it just doesn't work. It just says, no, I'm not going to do it. I have worked recently on a remake, one that was brand new, and the gentleman said to me, the ball goes into the scoop and it comes out and goes straight to the middle.
Yep.
We managed to just loosen the screws off and there's a bit of play. I managed to move it about 2 or 3 mils and we changed the direction.
Okay.
That was fine.
I had the same problem on this game.
Oh, did you?
And I stuck a couple of washers on one side, tilted just slightly. Now, 4 out of 5, maybe 7, 8 out of 10, shoots onto the left flipper.
Right.
But yeah, I had a similar problem.
Now there's also, I worked on another one just in the last couple of weeks, where the ball, when it comes down this orbit, can sort of just go straight down the middle. Now, what I did with his machine was I know that there's some talk about shaving a bit off Dracula's feet and all that sort of stuff. I would not be doing that with my brand new machine. But what I did do on his that worked was this ball guide here, I managed to get a screwdriver in there and I just bent it. And when I say bent it, maybe a millimetre.
Right.
And that was enough to change the angle.
The ball guide on this left,
Yeah, so
the far right.
it butts up against the black bumper sleeve there.
Right.
I just loosened off the screws there and I just managed to get in. I just bent it a little bit, tightened it up, and it was okay. These are the sort of things that when a new machine would come out, an operator may have to do these sorts of things because as good as it is when it comes from the factory, they can't address every single thing because every machine is going to have some unique problems that the next machine won't have or the one before. There was another problem that I came up against where the ball would go up this ramp and it would fly off up here and sometimes it would just come straight down here. I managed to do a couple of things. I think I physically just bent with my fingers. I bent the wire form just a little bit and I made a few adjustments. But what you can also do where the anchor points are, you can put washers underneath and that can raise or lower to change the angle of the ball. The other thing too is the machines are new, the flippers are really strong, so the ball is going to be really powerful. Those sorts of things may die away after 500 games or so. But in the initial period, you can make little adjustments like that. I don't think that's a big problem. But because of this machine, I think, I'm going to guess, was it about 3,500 of these?
I think it was something around that, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's not a huge
production.
No, it's not. So they just weren't that prevalent. But apart from that,
I did have an issue, as you recall, with Frankenstein. He wasn't raising and lowering as he should. If I'm not mistaken, it was fixed rather easily with tightening some screws. I think in our case there, it wasn't a major issue. I sometimes, if you have a mishit from your right flipper and you shoot it up to this loop here. What's the lady's name? Her.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Funny haired woman. When you shoot it up there, sometimes it doesn't make it all the way up that wire form, but it's not strong enough to roll all the way back. And I get a ball stuck there. Really? I have to take the glass down. It's happened on more than a few occasions actually. So little things, yes. Now I do remember watching a video, a Bowen Cairns video, and he talked about how on some games you can backhand the ball into the creature feature. Yeah. But I can't get it on this game. I can't manage to do it.
I think that would probably be the skill of an advanced player. I would say. I'm just looking at the angle here.
Okay. Just say it.
I'm not in that category either. I'm not an advanced player.
But I do remember, and same as Indy as well. Actually, there are some games that will allow you to do that, and others that won't. So I guess you could say that every game is just slightly different, isn't it?
Well, as the flipper plunges and backstops wear, the travel of the flipper increases.
Gotcha.
So you've got more of an angle backwards.
Okay.
If you have new assemblies in there, I mean the difference can be between a completely new and a completely worn assembly. The end travel of the flipper can be a centimetre.
Yeah, right. Wow. Which makes a big difference in the game. Okay. Have you had to fix many of the remakes out in the field?
Probably 3 or 4 that I can think of.
Okay, so not so many.
No.
Right, and you rarely see these on site, right? These are generally in collections, aren't they? The Monster Bash game.
Yeah, I can't think of too many I've seen on location of either the original or the remake.
Right. Criticism of the game that it's a little easy. Again, I'm clearly not a professional player, so I find it's plenty challenging. But I guess there are some that say that it's quite an easy game.
Right, I haven't really got into it a great deal. I mean, I have played it,
okay,
but I haven't really got into it a great deal to say one way or the other.
Sure, okay. And it's in that WPC 95 era where they did away with the old shooter rods and it's all buttons now?
Yeah, there were a few changes that they made with WPC 95. I mean, you've got the big display here on the speaker panel, but I think they even did away with the graphics on the old DMD. The graphics you used to have around the speaker panel, that went.
True, right,
just trying to, I guess, make it more of a generic thing.
Gotcha. Well, if you were to rank this game, what would you give it?
On my limited playing of it, I would say probably a 7.5.
Okay, because I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I've got all 3 of the remakes by Chicago Gaming so far, and I find it to be a good, very good-looking game, very bright. The colour-changing LEDs, etc., that are in the modern format makes it a bit more enhanced games. The LED came with a static topper, doesn't do anything, but there is on the AFM, which is a different video. It's the topper actually moves, but yeah, I think it looks quite nice.
But as long as people know, on the original, this was not
a part of it, right? Yeah, of course. That's only on your remake, ladies and gentlemen. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Rod. We might have a little flip of it and see how she plays. Thank you.
This monster is as stubborn as you, Doctor.